Okay, for those of you who are watching, that was a batch of 25 low brass, 12 gauge deer slugs. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go through what I'm doing step by step here for the actual reload process of my shotgun shells. I have went through and I have cast a whole bunch of deer slugs. These ones right here, these are ones I just cast today. Um, I do make my deer slugs into hollow points. Okay. Um, I might show you that process here in a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and go through and make some high brass deer slugs. I don't typically use a whole lot of high brass shells, and mainly because I've got a huge abundance of these low brass shells. And you know what? I'll educate you guys, some of you guys who are brand new, what a high brass shell and a low brass shell is. This right here, this is a high brass shotgun shell. This right here is a low brass shotgun shell. The brass cap on this is probably about almost an inch tall, whereas this is probably about a third of an inch tall. Okay, this is be considered low brass. The difference between high brass and low brass really is nothing. There's really no difference. Okay, and reason why I know this is this reloading handbook that I've got here. Okay, but you know, I don't know if I'm gonna turn. I have to go figure out which chapter it was. I just got this book not too long ago. Okay, but in this book, at the very beginning, before you go reload shotgun shells, it talks, you know, briefly explains the differences between high brass and low brass. The thing I want to get it to here, okay, there's no difference between the two, according to this book. High brass was advertised to deal with greater pressure ratings, whereas low brass supposedly isn't, but that is not the case. According to that book, the low brass shotgun shell is actually just as capable, if not more capable, of being able to withstand high pressure loads. In fact, the low brass shotgun shell is designed for the sole purpose of being able to be reloaded easily. Okay, so they will have slightly thicker walls. Okay, this right here is the low brass. Like I said, it'll have a slightly thicker wall to its to the actual shotgun shell hull. Okay, that means they'll be able to, like I said, be able to stand higher pressures and be able to be a little bit more easily reloaded. Whereas these, you might be able to get a few good reloads out of them, and they're pretty much done. Okay, so you might be able to get one or two good reloads, and like I said, they're done. That's according to this book. Okay, now I've yet to figure out how many times I can reload each shotgun shell. You know, some of these shotgun shells here in this group here have already been reloaded twice, so they're doing good. Maybe I'll do a video on that later on, see how many times a person can reload the same shotgun shell and fire it before the hull of the shotgun shell gets what would I say? Call it plastic fatigue. You know, either the petals give out, or in this case, I'm actually doing a roll crimp on these. I don't typically do a star crimp on these deer slugs, but either the star crimp's going to give out or the roll crimp's going to give out. So we're gonna see what happens here. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I trust the data in that book. Okay, all right. I'm gonna put this one back. Reload some high brass shells here. These are shotgun shells that I picked up off the range. Okay. How they are is how, like I said, how you see them is how I got them. So we got different brands here. different heights. This is a 3.5-inch Magnum. I'm going to have to cut this one down. There's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to reload that as it is. Got some Federals, some Winchesters. This right here, actually, interestingly enough, this is what I would call like an intermediate brass, because it's not, I guess in some ways it could be considered high brass, because on the one hand, the brass on this is slightly taller than the low brass, but it is significantly shorter than it is on this high brass Federal shell. Okay, I'm just going to assume that this is high brass. I'm just going to put it in the high brass category. I mean, it does have a pretty freaking sturdy wall. In fact, this one I might have to just use the star crimp on this one, because I bet you, if anything, if I try roll crimping that, it's probably not going to roll crimp too well. There has to be some pliability to these shotgun shells in order for me to put a successful roll crimp on it. Certain shells like the Remington Gun Club and the Remington Gold series, those don't really like the rolled crimp too well. They only do well with star crimps. Ooh, here's a good one. Here's an old rusty Remington. Normally I would not advise, if you're picking up shotgun shells, to be picking up a rusty one. You don't know how long it's been sitting out there. This is on the verge of probably not being any good. However, I have picked up a few of these. I have cleaned them up. I have reloaded them, and I've successfully fired them with no problems. I've had a few of them where the actual the shell hole actually failed on me, or completely just came apart because it was so badly sun faded. But all those pieces exited out the barrel, so really wasn't any major complication. I guess the biggest thing here is this cap not giving way. But all right, I'm gonna see about getting 25 shotgun shell holes all counted out here. Okay. If I got time, we'll see if I can't reload all of them here in front of you. Another intermediate. Yeah, that one's no good. So here's one. This is actually one that I'd fired off and reloaded, but you see that piece that's missing on the top there. I'm just gonna deem this one no good, so this one's gonna get thrown away. Not a big deal. Got plenty more where that came from. This one right here, this one might be a little bit more difficult to reload. It's got a thicker wall on it, but I'll see what I can do. Actually, I'm looking at it a little bit more closely. It almost looks like one that I'd cut down previously and reloaded. So Okay, got my 25 shells here. So I'm going to start with this one. This is a 3.5 inch Magnum. I'm going to slide these ones forward here, slide them out of the way. I have to cut this down because it won't fit on this press. This press, it's just way too big. Couldn't reload it, and even if I did, even if I was successfully able to reload it, I don't have a single shotgun that can accept a 3.5 inch Magnum. So what I am about ready to do here, let's see if I can't find me a 2 3/4. That looks like a 2 3/4 to me. Put them side by side here. Yep. So I'm going to take my knife here. I'm going to score the edge as best as I can here. I remember taking about almost an inch of shotgun shell off. I doubt the camera's going to be able to pick that up too well, but I'm going to cut around that score mark that I made. And this shell is going to be losing almost 1 inch of total height, so okay. I'll throw that piece away. Okay. So we got the spent primer on the back here. Okay. We're going to put our resizing ring over the top of the shell. Okay. I'm going to put it in this first slot here. Slot with the pin sticking out on top here. It's going to push the whole primer out. And while it's doing that, it's also pushing the resizing ring over the brass of the shell, the brass cap, to resize it. I'm going to have to push this down a little bit more because, as you can see, top edge of that lip to that shotgun shell is not all the way down inside that resizing ring, that recessed area of the resizing ring. I need it to be all the way down in there, so that way I know with certain positivity that this thing is properly resized, in which case it is now. So we're good. Okay. Right now I am using some Winchester primers. This is a brand new primer here. All right, we're going to stick this in the second slot here with a red circle in the recessed area for the shotgun shell primer. Okay, I'm going to take my shotgun shell that does not have a primer in it right now because it's already been deprimed and resized. We're going to set this here, and this right here is going to simultaneously reprime the shotgun shell and remove my resizing ring. Okay. Now the shell is ready to be reloaded. I think in this case, I'm going to probably just do star crimps for now. I don't like doing star crimps that much on deer slugs because they don't typically turn out that great. These are 1 ounce cups, 1 ounce shot cups, and these are the wads, combination wad and shot cup. I'm going to go ahead, take my knife, I'm going to cut these petals off. And actually, it's not an ounce, it's an ounce and 1/8. So these are literally the smallest shot shot cups I could find over at Bass Pro. All right. We'll stick just the wad portion inside the top of the shotgun shell here. All right. So that's got a powder charge in there. That also has the shot cup in there. I'm going to take these here petals, okay, that came off the cup. I'm going to tear them apart. I'm going to stick them inside the shotgun shell. The whole point of me doing this is that it adds a little bit of spacing in the shotgun shell. Okay. In fact, I might see if I can dig a couple more out of this trash can here because threw a whole bunch of them away from the last batch. So nothing goes to waste here pretty much, with the exception of the tops of the shotgun shells if I choose to cut off the top. All right. Yeah, so we got 6 petals in there. That should be enough. And I'm going to take my hollow point slug, toss that in there. I might put this down, do that good ramming, just make sure that slug is firmly tucked away. Now, according to that reload book, an 8. All right, you got 2 different kinds of star crimps. You got your 6-point star crimp. You got your 8-point star crimp. The 8-point star crimp is supposedly a lot more secure. Okay, but I think just to change things up, I'm just going to put a 6-pointer on this one. You rarely ever find a Remington with the 6-point star crimp on it. They're almost always going to have 8. So for this case, and because I don't have any actual memory on the top of the shell for this crimp, because I cut the top of the shell off, I'm going to just set this in the back here, this back slot. There's actually 3 slots over here. The back slot is for my 6-point star crimp, and then the front slot's for my 8. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to put a 6-point on here and see how well it turns out. So see, that just gets it started. Okay. Now this next crimp here, I'm putting this in the far right end of the shotgun shell press, and it looked like it put a little, yep. And that's why I don't like doing star crimps on deer slugs. See, that's exactly what just happened. This will fire out of the shotgun just fine, but I don't like this. I really don't like that. So I'll try again, see if I can't get one that's right. And that's the thing, like, it's kind of hard to get the spacing correct on these things. That's why I prefer to do a roll crimp, because it's a little bit more forgiving. All right, I'm gonna set that one aside. These Winchester shotgun shells, for some reason, they don't like roll crimps all that well. Though, more particularly the 2 3/4 as well as the 3-inch high Winchester shotgun shells, high brass shotgun shells. And oh, hey, look at that. This one's also a 3-inch, so we're gonna have to cut this one down. So I'm going to score the edge here. And we'll cut basically a 1/4 inch off the top of this here shell. Okay. This one's got a little bit of patina on the cap there. It's not too bad. I'm not going to worry about it. Actually, I like a little patina on my shells. I'm gonna put my resizing ring over the top of this. Set that down and there we go. Decapped and resized. Okay. Gonna put a new primer in. And that took the resizing ring off, and we got a brand new primer in there. That shotgun shell is ready to go. All right. Take my shot cup here. Cut the actual cup off. Alright. This thing's all got a wad in there. I'll throw these petals in. Well, this time around, I'm going to see about putting like maybe 9 petals in here, see if that'll correct the spacing issue here. We'll see if we can't do another shotgun shell with a star crimp, and hopefully with the correct amount of head spacing between the top of the deer slug and the star crimp. All right, let's get a slug in there before those petals decide to pop out. All right. Sure, get that packed down in there pretty good. Slug's still sitting a little high. I'm gonna give this one an 8-pointer since I pretty much took the 6-point crimp off. All right. Let's see. Yeah, seems like 9 petals is a little too much. So this next one I'm going to do, and this will still fire just fine. It's just there's a big chance that crimp could pop. But like I said, this will fire just fine. So next one I'm going to do, I'm going to try doing this with maybe 4 petals. Okay, we got ourselves another 3-inch shell. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one down. Okay. All right. Yeah, some people on the range, man, they shoot some expensive stuff. I know, like these 3, 3¼ and 3½-inch magnums, they're not cheap. I typically shoot 2 3/4 or shorter shells, the ones like what I remake. Okay, because this one's extremely rusty, the cap is extremely dirty. I'm gonna see about getting a wire wheel. Get the old screw gun out here. Okay. It's already starting in a couple months, maybe longer. Who knows? Okay. All the patina off, all the rust. It has left the cap very pitted. That's why it looks kind of, like I said, it don't look very smooth. It almost looks like I didn't take the rust off according to the camera, but trust me, this thing is rust free now. Like I said, it's just very, very badly pitted. It's not to the point where I couldn't use this. In fact, I am more than 95% confident that if I was to shoot this in my shotgun, like reload this right now, take this to the gun range tomorrow, this thing would fire just fine. Okay. So Yeah, I got that all cleaned up. Now, this Lee All Loader, Lee Load All 2 shotgun shell press. It's designed to have powder on this side right here and shot on the other, but I don't have the insert for the shot installed on this because I'm not using actual shot. I'm just doing deer slugs. So typically you just push this over like such, like I just did right now, and leave it as it is. You don't do this unless you've got a shot cup in there and you're going to be pouring shot in there. But because, like I said, just doing slugs, don't need to worry about that. Now, that'll probably be a hard habit for me to break when I do actually do real shot shells, but I figure since I'm going through the trouble of reloading my own shotgun shells, I'm just going to reload slugs and expensive rounds, and even some custom rounds here. Okay. Okay. I got 4 pedals in there. Oh, come on. Try to get them to lay flat here. And let's see if I got some more. And yes, I do. There's no. Jam 4 more in here. Okay. Got 8 pedals in there. Challenge is just keep them lying flat because they don't like to lie flat. Okay. Stuff that deer slug down into the shotgun shell. Get a good pack. There we go. I'm gonna try doing a 6-star crimp on this one. 6-point star crimp. Okay. So we get here. Hey. Actually, that one ain't too bad. Not too bad. I'm gonna put this on roll crimp. Try to redefine that rolled edge there. There we go. Yeah, see that edge? Now it's got a better edge, a little bit more defined. I will do that time to time with these star crimp shotgun shells. I'll throw them in the roll crimper here because for both semi-auto shotguns and pump action shotguns, they need to have this rolled edge. Okay, this part is really freaking important because without this, the shell has a high tendency of getting jammed in the loading mechanisms of the shotgun, and it might not chamber properly. Whereas if you had like a break barrel style shotgun, like a side-by-side, double barrel, or stacked, or just a single barrel, break open chamber, you wouldn't have to worry about that. Anyhow, take my safety glasses off. Okay. Okay. Got one correct height, so we're not going to do anything in terms of modifying this shell. Okay. I'll slide my ring over the top of this. That was resized. check. Okay. Yeah. I want all these petals down to the bottom of that shotgun shell. Okay. See if I can't salvage another 4. Okay. Let's see if I can't just get away with putting 7 petals in there. Okay. Actually, it's about the correct height right there. Since this one, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick that up. It's kind of got a hexagon shape to it that, to me, is an indicator that this was a 6-point. This was a 6-point star crimp. Almost all Winchesters are going to have 6 points. So we're going to put this in the back. I'm going to have one of the points facing out towards me. And we're going to crimp down. So what we got here first. Okay. Go ahead. Finish her off here. Well, that looks pretty good too. Yeah. Actually, you know what? 7 might be the magic number for these. I'm gonna we'll crimp the top edge there because I want that to have a really defined lip there. See that? That is a good shotgun shell. Okay. Oh, duh. Almost forgot. Gotta. Yeah. Only use Winchesters, man. See if I can't find something here. Where is it? There we go. Here we go. So this one's not pain in my butt. Future. So here, let's correct it. We're going to ream that hole out a little bit here. All right. Let's go ahead. That's an old primer. I don't want that to get mixed up. Let me see. There it is. Primer here. Prime this. And actually, this is a shotgun shell that I had previously reloaded. See, it's got some handwriting on there. So this one's getting reloaded probably for the second. Yeah, it's getting reloaded for very least the second time, possibly the third. Oop, got my resizing ring. Two more petals here. I think 7's going to be the magic number for these. Okay. This one has a 6-point star crimp on it. So that's what I'm going to be using. 6-point. Got the point facing out towards me. Oh, jeez, please, man. Almost dead on perfect. Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you straight up, you don't typically star crimp a deer slug. You real crimp these. All right, let's see. I'm pretty sure this is one that I cut down. It sure looks like it. They are pretty darn close to the correct height. In fact, I'm not even going to bother cutting this one down. Okay, this one will be a little bit more difficult to resize because it's got an extremely tall cap on the end there. All right, come here, get over here. Get a resizing ring. Okay, resizing ring. All right. Jeez, man, I almost put that over the top of this whole thing. Okay. See, you see how the top edge of that shotgun shell cap sticks out just above that ring? You're gonna see what I mean by that being a problem here, because that means it won't pop off as easily. Well, gonna require a little bit more finessing. Oh, never mind. Made me a liar today. Might be because I've resized and reloaded this one. This one's one I've reloaded previously. I doubt the camera's picking that up, but see that it says steel on it. I reloaded this one with steel shot previously, apparently, so. Gonna cut down another wad here. Okay, I'm gonna need one more pedal for this one to make it 7, because 7 is the magic number for these shotgun shells today. Okay. And I don't want to go in there. So it's being difficult. There we go. Because this is a 6-pointer, goes in the 6-point slot, point facing towards me. Okay. Not too bad. It's actually a really nice looking crimp. Gonna redefine the edge of it a little bit here. And you know what I do like about this shotgun shell? It is a little bit translucent. Hang on, let me see. I forgot a flashlight here. It's translucent, almost borderline transparent, but not quite. Okay. Yeah, see? So I can tell real easily with this one. There's a slug inside of this shotgun shell. Yeah, I don't know how to face this flashlight without the blinding beam. Yep. Put that away. Yeah, so you know what, we'll reload another one with an extremely high brass cap to it. Let's see. Okay, we are getting pretty darn close. I'm about to refill this with some powder here soon. The only reason why I cut these petals off these shot cups is because anytime I try to build one of these shotgun shells with the slug inside the cup, it spreads the walls of the inner walls of the shell apart too much to where I can't chamber the shotgun shell into my shotgun. So that's the only reason why I do it. Otherwise, I'd leave these. And actually, I just noticed it just now, but there is a slight break in that crimp there, so probably going to be able to crimp it about one more time, and then I'm going to have to cut this shell down and start doing roll crimps with it. So that is what I mean by plastic fatigue. Okay. The plastic will get fatigued enough, the memory will go in so deep to the point where the plastic will start to crack. I don't know what it's like reloading paper shells yet because I don't have any paper shells. I haven't found any at the gun range yet. Yeah, even with that little break, it still seems to be reloading okay. So far so good. Okay, pretty good looking right there. It's actually really, really nice. I'm extremely pleased with that one. Okay. Yeah, this isn't one that I reloaded. This looks like one I picked up off the ground. In fact, it is one I picked up off the ground. Now, some of these shells that I pick up off the ground, they might get a little crunched up here on the sides. Most people are going to say, don't reload these. These are bad. Don't do that. General rule of thumb, yes, probably shouldn't be reloading these, but I've not had too many problems with these not firing properly. I do have my limitations on how crunched up they can be. Like I said, I don't know how well that camera's going to pick up, but down here, down below, the sidewall is a little bit crunched up. But we're going to reload it anyway. Should be just fine. Now this one does have the higher brass, so I might have some difficulties getting this resizing ring off. See how that top of that cap sticks up just above the upper edge of that ring? Like I said, that might prove to be a bit difficult later on here. We're going to find out. I could be wrong. Again. Yep. Oh, hey, look at that. That came off. Okay, I was wrong again. Reload this one. Powder in here. Yeah. Trying to get some more. There we go. Got some more pedals here. All right. Again, 6-pointer. point it facing out towards me. And to be honest with you, it doesn't matter which point faces out as long as it's 8-point. Okay. Okay. All right. Actually, and with me crimping it, I actually kind of straightened out some of the, actually straightened that out quite a bit. So now it's nice and round. That's how I can get away with using some that are a little smushed. General rule of thumb, again, you don't want to use them if they get smushed. You especially don't want to use them if the bottom edge of the, if this cap is damaged, or if there's any penetrations on the whole wall here, or even a penetration on the cap. I've seen some where the cap split right down the middle. Those are probably the few times I can think about that in my head. You really don't want to be using these. All right. You know what? For S&Gs, since I'm going to show you guys how I make my slugs. I'll show you how I make my normal slugs into hollow points. Okay. So this is a special spot in my workbench where it's kind of made an indentation out of the hundreds, if not thousands, of these I've already made. I'm going to. This is a sheet metal hammer right here. Okay, that's a sheet metal hammer. Take my mini sledge and align the point of this sheet metal hammer as best I can. Best I can, dead center of that slug. And I'm gonna take this hammer and give a good whack. Usually 1 to 2 good whacks, sometimes 3. And there you go. Got a hollow point. Just like that. Make a couple more here. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call this a night. I sure hope that you guys enjoyed watching this stream, even though it was a little bit short notice. So there you go. You don't have to throw away your shotgun shells. Even your low brass shotgun shells can be reloaded. You can reload these just as well as you can reload one of these. Like I said, reload these just as well as you can reload one of these high brass shells into deer slugs. Okay. So, food for thought. This equipment I've got here is not very expensive. It's actually the cheapest reloading equipment you're going to find. This was like $59 plus shipping and handling on Amazon. This roll crimp right here was like $23. My shotgun slug mold retails for about $25. So all in all, about $100. Okay, about $100 worth of equipment tied up, versus probably about almost $100 just for one bullet tumbler when you're trying to reload handgun or rifle ammo. Okay, and then a rifle or handgun press is gonna cost you probably about $200 or $300. So not bad, pretty good equipment. It's actually, this is really fun and really easy to pick up. I would highly suggest it, and I would also highly suggest getting this book too if you plan on doing your own reloading. Okay, this is a great book. It's got everything from shotgun to handgun, from smokeless powder to black powder. Let's see. I don't know if this has got an ISBN on it. If you can read that barcode, that's the barcode on it for the book. Oh, let's see. Hang on 1 second here. Maybe, just maybe. Yeah, I'm not finding an ISBN on this, but I picked this up over at Big R. It's a ranch supply store. It's the equivalent of a Tractor Supply or a Bomb Guards or something like that. I'm really gotta say I cannot find an ISBN on it, but anywho, yeah, pick one of these up. These are good books. All right, I'm Diorce. I am out. You guys have yourselves a good one. Bye. Where's my cursor at? Where are you hiding it?